What's up, guys? It's Chris. Here to give some predictions for UFC on Versus 5 going down this Sunday on Versus, of course. I'm not going to go over the whole card, but I will say the portion of the card that is supposed to be on Versus, and we'll probably see the whole event because I think it's going to be on Facebook streaming the other cards that they have been. But just the televised portion of the card on Versus looks pretty damn entertaining on paper. As for a couple undercard bouts real quick, Jacob Volkman, Danny Castillo. I want Danny Castillo to win this fight, not just because he fights out of Sacktown. But he looked good in his last fight against Joe Stevenson. Volkman beat McKee by split decision in his last fight, but I'm just not a big fan of Volkman, and so I hope Danny Castillo is able to win this fight. Joseph Benavidez, Eddie Wineland, another guy fighting out of Sack, Team Alpha Male, Joseph Benavidez. This fight I can see being very similar to Eddie Wineland's last fight against Uriah Faber. Obviously Joseph's teammate, mentor, in a way. Benavidez is a very similar fighter to Uriah, if not quite as skilled or talented. But I think Benavidez can make it a scrap. The only problem I see Benavidez having is, although he's a better wrestler, he's going to be a lot smaller than Eddie Wineland. And Eddie Wineland shows pretty good takedown defense against Uriah, so if he's able to keep this fight standing, I think he might be able to get the better of Joseph Benavidez. But I think Benavidez is going to find a way to work through that and end up getting a decision. I'm not even going to break this fight down, but CB Dollaway, Jared Hammond. How does CB Dollaway, every time he loses a fight, he gets matched up in his next fight against an opponent he probably is going to be or should be? I don't know why Dana likes CB Dollaway so much. But apparently he is a fan of the guy, or Joe Silva or someone is in the UFC office, because this guy always seems to catch a break after he loses a fight. Onto the versus part of the card, Amir Shalal versus Dwayne Bang Ludwig. Fight that was previously scheduled, and I was really looking forward to. Both guys are Amir Shalal likes stand and trade. That's Dwayne Bang Ludwig's game as well. Sadal's coming off that TKO win over DeMarcus Johnson. I see this obviously being a stand-up battle, but I favor Sadala, even though I think Ludwig has got better skills. Sadal's going to be a lot bigger in there. I think he's going to be able to take a better shot. And I think it'll probably go the distance. And I just think Sadal's going to outwork Bang and move to a decision. Like I said, I think he's a little bit bigger, so he'll be able to take shots a little bit better, absorb them better. So I just think he's going to outwork Dwayne Bang Ludwig over 15 minutes and route to a decision. All right, fight that I'm really looking forward to. One of my favorite fighters in the sport. Currently, Donald the Cowboy Cerrone taking on Charles Oliveira. First up, big respect to both these guys for taking this fight kind of late notice. Man, this is going to be an exciting-ass fight. Both these guys are seriously exciting fighters. I know Donald didn't look so great in his last fight against Wagner Rocha, but that's mostly because Rocha wanted to lay on the ground and play the guard. A la Fabricio Verdun versus Alistair Overeem. As for Oliveira, his last fight was a barn burner against Nick Lentz, where he got the win, but it ended up being turned over into a no contest because he kneed Lentz when he was his hands or his knee or his I believe his hands were on the ground, so it was an illegal knee. But either way, man, this fight is going to be sick. Should be fight of the night. I don't see any way that it's not going to be unless something crazy happens, someone loses real early. I favor Cowboy, not just because I'm a fan of the guy, but I think his stand-ups are better. And the ground, I think it's pretty much a wash. I think both guys got some good scrambles, some good grappling. So I think it could be even a fight there. Neither's got the best wrestling, and on the feet, I think Cerrone gets the better of it. So I'm going to give Cerrone the edge in a 3-round war. Co-main event of the night, which I think should be the main event in my opinion, Jim Miller versus Ben Henderson. Miller coming off the win over Kamal Shalorus. Miller's on a serious roll right now, looking to get a UFC lightweight title shot if he wins this fight. Ben Henderson coming off his UFC debut where he looked stellar, beating Mark Bocek. I think Miller should be the favorite going into this fight, based on his resume and the way he's looked as of late. But I'm going to favor Ben Henderson. Somewhat similar fighters, although I think Miller may have a slight edge in wrestling. But I think Henderson is a faster fighter. I think he is a slightly better in the stand-up, although it's not really a big edge. Just a little bit more diverse with the stand-up than Jim Miller is. Grappling-wise, it's hard to say, Miller may be better with the submissions, but we see Ben Henderson time and time again. The dude is hard to submit. So I don't see him really getting tapped out or caught in any submissions. So I think it could be a real good ground battle, down there. But I don't think either's going to get the better of one another, much like with Cerrone and Oliveira. So based on that, I'm just going to favor Ben Henderson. I think he's just going to get the better of it on the feet a little bit and just outmaneuver and outwork Jim Miller. I know it's hard to say because Jim Miller is a serious grinder in there, but I see Ben Henderson getting this win by decision, probably split decision. I think it's going to be a close fight either way. And being a split decision, obviously I think Jim Miller is very capable of winning this fight. We'll not be surprised if he does. Main event of the night, and it should be the main event because it's got a lot more implications than the main event. Main event of the night, Dan Hardy versus Chris Lato. Now this is the main event because it's going to be an exciting fight on paper, but both fighters are coming off losses. Lato's coming off back-to-back losses. Hardy's coming off 3 losses in a row. just not main event caliber, in my opinion. Definitely would never main event a pay-per-view. Anyways, Hardy's coming off the loss to Anthony Johnson, where Johnson said he was going to stand and bang, so he just took him down time and time again, and stifled and smothered and frustrated Dan Hardy for 15 minutes. Chris Lytle's coming off a surprising loss to Brian Ebersol. Ebersol was a late replacement, went in there and just outworked Chris Lytle. Chris Lytle really hasn't looked all that inspired as of late in fights against Ebersol and Matt Serra. Actually, I think he won the Serra bout. He did. My bad. But I don't know. He just hasn't looked all that good as late. He's been going for a lot of Fight of the Night bonuses. If he does that here, I think Hardy will get better, just because I think Hardy's got a bit more power in his hands. So I think his strikes will be more telling to the judges. I definitely see him going to a decision. Lytle's a better wrestler, definitely a better grappler, but he's not like a powerful, overwhelming wrestler that's going to get Hardy down and really be able to do a lot of work down there. If Anthony Johnson wasn't able to really, even though he took Hardy down time and time again, he wasn't really able to do a whole lot from there. I don't see Lytle doing too much there either. So I expect another 3-round fight here. Should be an entertaining fight, but I think Dan Hardy's going to get the edge by landing maybe not more shots, but landing the bigger shots. So yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on the card? You're looking forward to? Which fight you're looking most forward to, and why? And if you agree with me that Miller Henderson should be the main event rather than Hardy Lytle. That's it for now. Talked about this event on this past weekend Science Minds Radio Show. We won't be talking about it on next weekend because we'll be doing the show an hour early, so I can get the show over with and I can watch this card. But link in the page part of the videos, as always, to that, and link to ScienceMinds.com, my Twitter. That's for now, guys. Until next time, I'm out.